If you're looking for an easy roadmap to navigate the US30 market for this upcoming week, well, you're in the right place because I'm going to share my simple trading plan along with step-by-step analysis, entries, profit targets, no matter if the market goes up or down. So make sure you stick around until the end to totally transform your trading. I'm LaKiesha. Let's hop into US30. So here was the game plan for last week. The market was mostly bullish, and I believe in last week's video, I did say that I was bullish, but of course, this market is kind of crazy. There's a lot of heavy consolidation areas. Let's just get into it. But basically, let's get rid of all of the drawings and let's start on the weekly time frame as usual, reset our view and move it over. And then, of course, I'm going to zoom in so that way we can see the candles. So this past week was bullish, not as bullish as the prior week, but that's okay. So price is pretty much reaching the highest high that this market has ever reached, and price could either continue to move higher or it could come to this point and reverse down. So we have to make sure that we come up with a game plan to tackle both sides. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to mark off this highest high level that price has ever made around 41,367. And as we move down to lower time frames, we're going to adjust that as well. So let me clone this. And then one other thing I see actually right here is a resistance, and then price broke through that in order to potentially tap into this in the future. So I want to mark off this level right around 40,675-ish. And then also I want to clone this level again. And then I also want to mark off this level here at 39,340. And then one more level here on US30. And that is at the bottom of this really long wick from a few weeks ago at 38,338, mainly because price was eventually bullish, or at some point this candle was eventually bullish. It came all the way down, and this was a really strong bearish candle. That's what I meant to say, bearish candle, and then it ended up bullish. This is a lot of movement, especially for a weekly candle, so I definitely want to mark that off. And then if we look left, we can also see that there are a lot of rejections in this area. So we got 3 really strong rejections here. We got a break, and then 3, almost 4 other rejections here in addition to this one. So a lot of price moving through this zone, so I definitely want to make sure that I mark it off. So let's go ahead and go to the daily. Let's reset our views, and we're going to make some adjustments to our levels. All right. This level right here, going to leave that alone. That's the very top. This level is actually pretty nice because we have a nice support here, but I am going to move it up just slightly to 40,700 and what is this? 715, which is kind of like the average of this. And this level is actually looking really good also because we have a support. This level right here looks good. We have all these rejections, but I do want to see how it may look if I push this up to this level. Okay, I think it'll fly because I'm more so focused on recent price action and the fact that this formed a support, and then it did all of this right here. I think I feel pretty confident putting it here at 38,000, roughly 625. So that looks good. So with that being said, I'm actually going to clone this, and I'm going to create another level around here at 38,000, almost flat. So that looks good, and I believe this should be enough for this upcoming week. So let's go ahead and go down to H4. Let's reset our view so we can see what is happening. Okay, so this is that very top point that looks good, came down, broke, consolidated a lot. This is some ugly consolidation right here. And then, okay, so one thing I do want to adjust, I want to adjust this level right here. I do want to push it down to 40,500 and roughly 75. 80. 4580. So mainly because we have a nice support here. We do have some breaks here, so we may move it again on a lower time frame, but right now this looks good. And then same reasoning for this level. I do want to move it down in order to accommodate this support, and then this rejection, We do kind of have a resistance level right here, but I think it looks good so far here at 39,270 roughly. This level is looking good. And then did I write? Okay, I did create another level down here. So I just want to scoot over and see how this is looking. This looks great. In the past, we have all these rejections right here. I'm going to leave that alone. And then let's go ahead and go down to H2. So I'm looking at all of these levels. This still looks good right here, so I'm not going to touch that. This still looks good. This still looks good. And just scooting over. And the lower we go down on these time frames, we have to scoot in our data quite a bit just because there's a lot more candles and we need to see what is happening. So this still looks good. Let's go down to H1. All right, so I still like this level. We do have a price push up, but then it came down and then came right back up. So I'm actually okay with that. And this, let's see how this looks if we move this down just a little bit to 39,200 and almost 50 perfectly. So I actually like that level. And then this level right here, this is looking good. And then let's move over. Okay, this is still looking good as well. Okay, amazing. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and talk about what our entries and exits may look like for this upcoming week. All right, so in this particular area, let me make it a little bit bigger just because it is a little bit difficult to see. We have all of these really low momentum candles right through here, and it's crazy because not all of these areas are low volume times. But anyway, that's just the nature of US30. But one thing that I'm seeing off the bat, I'm going to use a rectangle here. But basically, I do see a nice support here right at 40,000. Let me close that. 40,000, let's just say 70 or 40,970 area. So this is looking like an interesting area. And then if we did drag this over, we can see that it's touching these candles almost perfectly. They're pretty much rejections. So this in here is a little zone. And then what I do see price potentially, let me put this like this, potentially coming back to this level to retest it and then going up. I also do see price actually coming back down to this level and go back up to this level. And if we scoot all the way over, this was the area where price tapped into and it made the highest high and then it reversed. So I see that potentially happening, mainly because price could do a retracement. It may want to do a retracement here, or it may do a deeper retracement to about here. And now, of course, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know how it's going to work out, but this is just what I'm seeing based on the data that I have right now. And then, of course, my experience just looking at a whole bunch of candles, whole bunch of markets. So, so that's what I see price potentially doing. And then what I see right here, based on this support and this bounce right here, price could potentially bounce up from this level. So it could bounce up from this 40,578, 75-ish area and continue to move up. So if that does happen, let me adjust that. If that does happen, what I would want to see is price bounce up to here and then go all the way up here. So this is 390 points. We are on US30, so it uses a point system. And basically, that is looking good to me. And then if price continue to move up, then price could potentially tap into the area where it made all-time highs. But I wouldn't bank on that. This would actually be a safer play for me. And then let's just say price was to break this level. I wouldn't necessarily look for a break right here, but I would want to look for a break right below this level, especially because this was a nice support level and then price bounced up and did all of that. And then what I would be looking for next would be for price to potentially come down to here. So let me mark off this level right here. So, okay, so level right here. And then level right here, or actually going all the way down to here. So this level right here this wouldn't make me very confident to actually take any trades inside of here, just because I don't know where the market is heading. Like the market, like say for instance, if price did a deeper, let me get my path tool. If from here, if it did a deeper retracement, it could actually go back to here. If we look left and we see this right here, we see this bounce and continue to move up. So it could do that as well. So pretty much that is what I'm looking at when it comes to buying and then selling. Like I said, I would feel a lot more comfortable below this level and then just riding it down. These zones are more than enough. I would just kind of look left and just see where some issues may pop up in terms of price action. But generally, this is what I'll be looking for the upcoming week. So good luck in your trading, and I hope that everything works out. I'll see you next week.